Welcome back to Celebrity Radio, talking to one of my favourite people and one of the biggest and best stars in the UK, Sherrie Hewson. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, Alex. Very good.
I love you very much, and I just saw you a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks before you finished Benidorm, and what a success that was. I'm amazed you're still alive, because it was a lot of work, wasn't it?
It was a lot of work, but what a phenomenal response from those audiences. I mean, it just shows you our fans are the best in the world. They just came in their droves and they were just wonderful to us, and we had the best of times.
The other thing about it was it took us back to the 70s with those belly laughs from the back of the stores, and it just goes to prove they're there if you can write them and find them.
Oh, and Darren can write them. I mean, it was just, oh my goodness. I mean, seeing people rocking with laughter is just the best thing to ever see.
How do you go from sort of 9, 10, 12 months of that to then finding yourself on a Monday morning sat at home watching This Morning going, I've actually not got to put my makeup on today. I've not actually got to do anything if I don't choose to.
I know, and that was amazing when we stopped, because you just sleep, you get ill, because, you know, you've stopped running. And my daughter had her third baby within 2 weeks of stopping. So everything was, it was, and you know, it still will remain with us forever, that response. And so, yes, it was incredible when we stopped. And the fact that you thought, I'm never going to get out of my pyjamas ever again.
There's nothing I love more than going to see a show, and when the star walks out, before they've even spoken, the audience gives them a round of applause, and that's what all of you got. That was so lovely.
I know.
Congratulations on that.
I was the first out, so, you know, it always hit me even more, because I would go, ah! And then one I went, there she is, there's Joyce Temple.
And then, of course, as you say, becoming a grandma again, is this better than anything else? Is this the thing you love the most? It seems to be.
Absolutely. That's all that matters in the world. 3 grandchildren now, my beautiful daughter Keely. And, you know, that's what life is about. You know, that's all life is about, that love of that family, and you know, that's who I live for. So, yes, it's been joyous being at home with them.
Give me some insight. The more kids you've had and the more grandkids you had, does it get easier?
No, it doesn't get easier, but it just gets more exciting.
Right.
Because you think, oh my God, another one in our band. Yeah. It's fabulous. I love it.
And you're such a family person. I mean, that's what you thrive on, isn't it? If you did nothing else, that would be enough. Yeah,
absolutely. That's what gives me my, you know, makes my heart beat, and you know, that's my injection. Every morning, family.
Very soon you'll be turning 40, and you're getting on a bit. And we're here today. Today we're talking about the signs of aging. And of course, one of the problems being in this business is we've got headphones on all the time.
You know this about hearing, don't you? You know, it's not easy, is it? You know, and the young people that I know that have a hearing loss who won't kind of do anything about it, you know, that's the people I'm reaching to, really. And Specsavers are reaching to, and they're saying, the younger you are, if you're having problems, go now. Like you would if you couldn't read, or your teeth were dropping out. You'd go. And it's a stigma that belongs to that period when people had orthopedic hearing aids that whistled. You know, people still kind of go back to that, and it's gone. You know, the little things that go in your ear and you can't see them, but it can't make your hearing better, but it stop it deteriorating. And, you know, because it'll stop you turning your music up and your television up and shouting. Like Molly always says that I shout all the time because I've got a very loud voice. I think Tony Maudsley would say that, but then Tony Maudsley is worse than me, so he's got no room to talk.
Yeah, he's a boomer. I blame loose women, though. 10 years of screaming over Colleen Nolan's going to do it to you, isn't it? That's right.
Well, to be honest with you, 15 years of wearing an earpiece in my left ear, I think that possibly could be it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? But whatever it is, you have to do something about it. And when you go to Specsavers to have your glasses looked at, have a hearing test at the same time. Let them tell you if there's anything wrong. If there isn't, great. If there is, do something about it. Don't let it deteriorate. So in 5 years' time, it's far worse. Because you and I need our hearing, don't we, Alex?
Well, I'd be screwed without it. I do worry, though, the impact of these iPhones. For 10 years, we put them against our heads and ears. We don't know what that's going to do to us. And now we don't do that. We put these headphones in. But, of course, the more intense sound there is. Last night, I went to see Westlife. And, again, it's so loud, they stick you at the front. And you think, I wonder what impact it has. Even for them, having those things in their ears for years and years and years, it's got to take a toll.
Well, I must admit, when people came to Benidorm, they said the music was shatteringly loud. I don't know if you thought that.
I didn't, actually. I loved it.
But then, if you go to a concert, it's 5-10
times
my God. More.
I walk out some things. I went to see an 80s thing last year at the arena, and honestly, it was so loud before anybody had even walked out. I thought, I can't do this. Honestly, I couldn't do it. And it seems like now we think the louder the better. And actually, that's not the case, is it? Often sound can be ruined.
Case, I do that in my car. And if I'm in a bad mood, I turn it up so loud that I try and obliterate the world.
Yes.
And then, and so that possibly has done me in. But, when I went to Specsavers and they said, you've got to take notice of this because we can't stop it, but we can help it deteriorating in 5 to 10 years' time, and you won't be deaf. Do you know what I mean? And so we've got to kind of take it on board, I think, that in our world we live in, it's so loud that it is doing something to our ears. And the younger people that I know, and I just think, wow, I'm my age, so I can put it down to, well, things are bound to drop off and fall out now. But if you're young, but young people shouldn't be there. They should be looking, going, oh dear.
And God bless Specsavers, because the two things that terrify me are losing sight and losing hearing. These are just beautiful things that we're given that we got to look after.
I know. And when you go for your glasses and Specsavers, on the thing it says, whilst you're here, why don't you have a hearing test? And their technology now, I mean, I'm working with them because in a little while, the technology that's coming, which fascinates me, will be even better. We'll have the most amazing things soon, I think. Can you imagine what's going to happen soon? When you think what we've got now, technology-wise.
Excellent. So you can find out more. Go to the website, specsavers.com, and pop in on the high street too. One of the few remaining stores, which is nice. Let's talk about you, if we can, because I look at your career and it's so astonishing. I think you had the halcyon days of TV and theatre, and you mastered both. It must be great to be you at this point, because there's nobody that you haven't worked with.
Well, there are, but I have been very lucky to have worked with all the people I've worked with, I have to say. And my mother used to say, oh, my God, you should look back and go, what a career you've had. You should. And indeed I do now more and more. I realise how lucky I've been in my career to have worked with the people I've worked with. And so, and then Benidorm came along, for 10 years on that telly. And it was just that character which Darren wrote for me. He thought of me when he was writing it, so he said, and that's fantastic in itself. So yes, Alex, I've been very, very lucky. I've had an amazing, amazing career. I've never stopped, ever stopped. And since when I left RADA in 71, I never stopped. Now that's lucky in itself, isn't it?
But I love your ethic even more than the fact you're offered the role. It would be easy to get a starring role in something like Benidorm Live, but if you don't turn up, the disappointment from people. How do you cope with that pressure? Because that is tough, isn't it? Doing it 8 times a week, and the expectation that if you're not in it, you're probably going to ruin somebody's night.
Well, yes, and I think Jake was off once, and through being poorly, and Janine was off once because she missed her plane. Very, very Janine. And so, but I wasn't ever off, and my brother was very poorly whilst I was doing it. And I kept thinking, I've got to leave. I've got to go to him. But I didn't. I stayed because we knew that, they've come to see us. And, my brother would have been furious had I done that. And we got through it, and that was fine. But yes, it was 8 shows a week. It's very hard for 9 months. 9 months.
Incredible.
But not only that, We left on a Sunday, flew to the next city, and so we packed up every Saturday night and moved on. Now, listen, other people have got much harder jobs than us. But nevertheless, it was really exhausting. We didn't realise how exhausting until we stopped, of course.
Let's go back 40 plus years and talk Carry On just for a moment. We've never actually talked about this because this was a sort of period of film where it was massive and a bit silly, but nevertheless has stood the test of time. I mean, the fondness for Carry Ons now is remarkable. And you were in team and behind and laughing, which people just love. I mean, was it fun doing that? Or again, it seems to me in history now, it was so fast and done so quickly. Did you even sort of know you were doing it at the time? Because they sped it out, didn't they?
All the films were done in 6 weeks. So,
incredible.
You know, and they were wheels out. And of course, Benidorm is the modern day Carry On.
Yes, of course.
So, and that's why, you know, we're going to make a film, and that will be it could be a franchise. You never know, a Benidorm franchise film. But no, it was amazing. But what was incredible was, that not recognised then, recognised now, are the actors who were amazing, like Kenneth Connor and Kenneth Williams, Joan Sims, Hattie Jakes. You know, all of them were wonderful, consummate actors that were just brilliant for a young person like me to watch. And see, you know, the timing, comedy timing at its very best ever. And, you know, I watch them now and just how clever they were, because they had no time to do it, no time to learn the lines, no rehearsal period. They just went in and did it. And you look at it now and you think, my goodness, that was clever.
Isn't it interesting you did that in 75, then in 93 onto Coronation Street, and if I asked you about that, you'd give me the same answer. No rehearsal, no time to do it, you just did it. It's exactly the same, isn't it?
Absolutely the same. and those actors that deliver, the scenes they deliver every day, and of course, I only went in at 3 shows a week, and I believe they're 6 shows a week now, 6 eps a week. So how... I was with Bill Roach, actually, a week ago at a charity ball, looking fabulous, I may say.
Incredible.
He is amazing and delivers just as much as he always did do. So it's the same thing. Those actors in the soaps are incredible. I always say that. I presented an award at the Soap Awards last year, and I said, you know, people should know how clever these actors are when you see what they deliver every day with no rehearsals and no time to learn.
Yeah. And it's 1% sort of showbiz and 99% work, isn't it? I mean, there's no glamour involved in that.
Oh, no, it's just work. Work.
Just before we go very quickly, can you tell us anything about the film? I know for a while there was the we're not doing it thing, and now we've admitted we are doing it. Do we know when it's going to happen and when we're going to see it yet, or is that still under wraps?
The actors will be the last to know.
Yes. I'll let you know if I get a press release.
Yeah, exactly.
And we want to see you back on the TV. I suspect the answer is going to be no, but can we beg you to come back to Loose From Me? Because we do miss you. We just love your silliness, and also we love your pathos. You did both better than anyone.
Well, I mean, I will go back, you know. When I'm asked, I will go back, because I love it. I miss it. I miss the girls. I speak to them all the time, and we're always, you know, texting and WhatsApping, and I love them. So I will go back at some point.
Yeah, we miss you very much.
Thank you very much.
Sherrie Hewson, you're one of my favourite people, and what a stunning actress, and we wish you all the best. Go down to Specsavers and get your eyes done first, and then your ears done second, and then if there's anything else to do, pop in A&E. I'm going to pop there later and see if there's anything else. What did you say? Dropping out? Sherrie, thank you.
Dropping off.
Sherrie Hewson, thank you so much for your time.